goodness, our sandcastle. This will do.
Trouble busters!
DIY sandcastle all done. I'm going to reward myself by eating all the pastry edges without telling my family. My name is Helen. We finally moved into our dream home, and I started a brand new chapter of my life. I'm excited that my son is going to start going to preschool next year. Hey, can't you guys keep it down? Oh, I'm sorry. Were we being too loud? I can't focus on work because you guys keep causing so much disturbance. I work remotely. I'm so sorry about that. We'll be sure to keep it down. Why can't you just keep your kid inside the house and let him play video games instead of meaninglessly making something that would break down so easily? But it's healthier for kids to play under the sun. Anyways, you better watch out because you're causing a disturbance in our neighborhood. I'm sorry about that. Meaninglessly making this, isn't that a bit more than what she should be saying? Oh my goodness, our sandcastle. Those are tire marks. It's not from our car. They did it again. I can't take this anymore. This video would suffice as evidence, right? I retrieved this from our surveillance camera.
We can't do anything about the damages caused on a sandcastle.
But she did it on purpose.
I'm sorry, but we have other matters to take care of.
Oh my goodness. But this is something that's valuable to us. I can't believe the police won't do anything about this, even after seeing the evidence. What do I do? Do we really deserve this treatment? I thought we'd be living happily in this new town that we moved in. But she's ruining it all. If the police won't do anything about it, I'm going to handle this on my own. I can't forgive her for hurting my family. I'm not letting her get away with this. Trouble busters! This will do. They made it again, and I'm going to do it again. Yikes, what the heck is this? Oh, what's going on over here? Hey, I know you made this trap. Trap? Why would you call it a trap? We just made a sandcastle as usual. It's not as usual if it's rock hard like this. We decided to build a permanent castle since it gets destroyed so easily if we make it with sand. Isn't it perfect? You can take a photo of it and post it on Trustagram if you want. I know you did this on purpose. I'm going to call the police, so you better be ready for this. No way. Mindy, do you realize that you entered our private property? I just happened to come in here. Oh, so you happen to come into our private property on a regular basis? Regular basis? This is my first time entering your yard. I have a surveillance video of how a car that looks exactly like yours was destroying our sandcastle. Let's take a look. What? When did you ever install a surveillance camera? Oh, Are you admitting it now? Does that mean that you were aware that we previously didn't have a surveillance camera? I mean, most people have a surveillance camera, right? I was just curious to see if you were ever going to install one. Who would ever be concerned whether their neighbor has a surveillance camera installed or not? Maybe it's someone who plans on entering their premises in a vehicle. I don't know what you're talking about. Why are you making it sound as if I've been trespassing? But you've been trespassing. How dare you destroy my car like this and treat me like a culprit when I'm innocent? I might as well sue you for defamation when I file a lawsuit against you for the damages on my car. Right back at you. You've been destroying our sandcastle multiple times while you've entered our premises without our permission. Oh, what's the big deal? It's just a blob of sand. It's not even worth anything. It's valuable to us. My car is far more valuable than that stupid sandcastle. What are you going to do? Do you even realize how much my car costs? It's a Translators. Not only my husband would get upset, but he might even break up with me. He's coming back from a business trip today, and we won't even be able to repair it in time. Maybe your husband will understand if you tell him what happened. No way. I've been driving his car without his permission. What? Really? Isn't that bad? Oh, it's completely damaged too. And that's exactly why I'm telling you to do something about this. But that's your problem. What? We can keep whatever we build on our premises, right? Why do we have to pay for your car repair? I mean, you knew that I was going to pass through your yard with my car, right? No, it just so happened. Ugh, Okay, fine. I'll apologize. I'll admit that I've been destroying your sandcastle, but I didn't do it on purpose. I'm a bad driver, and I ended up running over it when I turned my driving wheel. You're a bad driver, but I guess you know exactly how to turn your driving wheel in the same direction every time when you drive. I give you a compliment that your driving skills are quite remarkable. I mean, it's like a habit. We all make the same mistakes over and over again, right? In that case, do you have anything to say about this? How embarrassing. What the heck is this? Oh, did you just wonder why I have this video when you thought I didn't have any cameras? That's not true. She guessed your thoughts right. Hey, I want you to stay out of this. This isn't a show and I want you gone. Oh, wasn't it a show? You're clearly doing it on purpose. You're even laughing as you do it. A normal person would come apologizing. I thought about apologizing, but you weren't home. I was in my room around this time of the day. What? Really? Maybe you were taking a nap or something then. Okay. I rang your doorbell, but you didn't answer, so I even left a letter. I wrote that I was sorry for breaking the castle because of my carelessness. Letter? Are you talking about this? What the heck is this? You made this letter, Mindy, right? You cut the newspapers to make this letter? I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't have the time to be making something like this. But our neighbors saw you going through the old newspapers that were left at the trash disposal. Going through the trash? I would never do anything so unsanitary. You looked like you were having fun as you were digging through the trash. Even then, I mean, not that I ever was, but even if that was the case, you can't even prove that I was the one who made that letter to leave it by your door. You're right. I can't prove it. See? You can't make me the culprit when you can't even prove a thing. Mindy, why were you aware that this letter was left by the door? What? I never even said that, but how do you know? I mean, wouldn't it usually be left at the door? Most culprits from mystery dramas do that too. You're sweating a lot. Would you like to use my handkerchief? No, I don't want it. You dug yourself a deeper hole. Ugh. Why would you do something like this? All we were doing is to make a sandcastle in our yard, and we made sure we kept it down after you complained. None of our other neighbors ever complained about it. I just hated how you've been having fun. What? You've been making a sandcastle that's so typical at a house like this. This is no Arabian Night. What are you talking about? Look, in some countries in Europe, it's against the regulations to make large buildings in order to keep the artistic look of the cities. It's not so eye-pleasing to have large buildings right next to the beautiful buildings from the Middle Ages, right? What are you trying to tell me? Some people feel disturbed by what you're doing. You're old enough not to be playing with sand. I've been making it with my son. Anyways, I feel annoyed every time I see you around. In that case, can't you just take another route? You don't have to keep choosing to pass by our house. This is the shortest way to get where I want to go. What do I do? Anyways, life in this neighborhood has been miserable for me ever since your family moved here. What? Is it my fault? That's right, I've been doing terribly at work ever since I started watching you excited to move into this neighborhood. My husband keeps going on business trips and he never comes home. I don't think I'm at fault for any of those. It's because you brought in a bad omen in this neighborhood. You're not willing to listen. Let me tell you that I feel the exact same way about you. I thought I'd be living here with a brand new chapter of my life, but you keep looking for something to complain about us. We've been scared that you'd complain again every time we ever do anything. Why can't you play with the sand inside your house then? I'll live peacefully if you do that, and you get to build as many castles as you want, too. It's important for us to let our son bathe in the sun. I've never heard of anyone playing with sand indoors.
Hey, what the heck is this?
Oh, honey, why are you here?
Were you driving my car without telling me?
What excuse are you going to give, Mindy? I need you to stay out of this.
Oh my goodness, you drove my car without telling me and you even got into an accident! What are you going to do about this?
No, there's actually a complicated reason behind this. You've been crashing into our sandcastle every day for the last few days using your husband's car, right?
What? Is that true, Mindy? Why did you do that?
It's a misunderstanding. I know I destroyed it for the second time, but I saw Mr. Tanner doing it the first time. I'm sure he felt the same way I felt.
I heard my name over here.
Huh? Why are you here?
You guys have been quite disruptive over here. Mindy, you should take a look around.
Everyone, it's lunchtime. Why don't we all leave?
By the way, you said something about the first time, but I've been on a business trip the last few weeks, so I'm not the culprit.
Mindy, you tried to place the blame on Mr. Tanner just because you thought he was still on a business trip. Oh, I didn't know you were on a business trip. I had no idea. Oh, Mr. Tanner, you're such a remarkable businessman going on a business trip all the time.
That's not necessarily true.
You're trying to switch the subject by getting our attention towards the fact that Mr. Tanner was on a business trip. That's not true. Why do you keep trying to say things that would bring down my reputation?
Mindy, that's enough. You're humiliating yourself in front of our neighbors.
I'm sorry, I know you're not at fault for anything, but your wife wouldn't admit what she's done. Are you okay to discuss this further through my lawyer?
I'm terribly sorry for what my wife has done to you. I hope we can resolve this by having the lawyer involved. Mindy, there's also something else that I want to discuss with you through my lawyer.
Wait, what do you mean by that? Do we really need to get the lawyers involved? In that case, are you going to admit what you've done in front of everyone here? There's nothing to admit to since I didn't do it on purpose. I tried to make a left, but somehow the car ended up turning towards the right.
Ms. Mindy, I've taken a look at the surveillance footage and the letter that was left by Ms. Helen's door. As she alleges, it's evident that you are the culprit. I understand that it's difficult to get out of habit when it comes to driving.
Right?
How long has it been since you've obtained your driver's license?
It's only been 6 months. I finally learned how to park the other day.
Ms. Helen, did the vehicle that Ms. Mindy drove have a new driver's mark?
No, nothing was on it.
Oh, this is bad, Ms. Mindy.
Yikes.
If you haven't been putting on a new driver's mark when it's been less than a year since you obtained your driver's license, you would be subject to being charged with a penalty of $40.
Oh, that cheap? Oh, that's fine. I can afford that.
It doesn't end there. You were driving your husband's car without his consent.
But it's not like I broke into it or anything. I wouldn't be charged with theft, would I?
You can't say that for sure. In a past trial, someone drove another person's vehicle for a few hours, and the court charged that individual with theft due to possessing something that belonged to another individual.
Woohoo! Go, Mr. Cobweb. But the car belongs to my husband, so I can't get in trouble for it, right?
You're being naive. Haven't you been aware that your husband has been consulting us about the divorce he plans?
What? Are you saying that he also hired you? I referred him. Why would you do anything like that?
I'm going to be busy starting next month.
Sir, Mr. Cobweb, isn't there a good solution to this problem? I hope both Helen and I can end up in a win-win situation.
Are you talking about the settlement?
Yep, I knew you would understand me, Mr. Cobweb. Yep, Mindy. Hey, I need you to keep it quiet while we figure this out. So, how much can I pay to settle this dispute on my own?
That's going to be up to Ms. Helen. Ms. Helen, any thoughts about that? Ms. Mindy is hoping to settle this dispute.
I don't know. Helen, aren't we neighbors? I'm sure we're going to have a long-lasting relationship. You might be right about that. Right. I believe it's best to both of our interests to settle this dispute without making it a huge deal. Trials can cost a lot of time, money, and effort. I'm sure you're too busy for that. It's true that I plan on being busy with some upcoming family matters. Right. I'm sure you would appreciate some cash, too. Sure, I'd appreciate cash. No matter what you do in life, money is the universal solution to all problems. Let's settle this amongst ourselves. Not. Huh? Mindy, no matter what happens, I'm going to file a lawsuit against you. Wait, hold on. I thought you'd appreciate cash. Who wouldn't ever appreciate money? But then I wouldn't sell my pride and justice for cash. Hold on a second, does that mean I'd be in trouble? That's right.
Ms. Mindy, you have unlawfully entered Ms. Helen's private property, which would be considered trespassing, and you will be subject to being sentenced to imprisonment of up to 3 years or a penalty of up to $1,000.
What? 3 years of imprisonment? $1,000?
You've also intentionally destroyed the sandcastle that the family had built, which is evidence that you had malicious intentions. You may be charged for property damages for a sentence of up to 3 years of imprisonment or a penalty of $3,000. I hope you're ready for this.
Okay, fine. I have an idea. I'll go ahead and apologize and admit to what I've done. So, can't we just settle this dispute without taking it to a trial? Are you sure you're sorry about this? Of course I am. I just envied you because I'm always working from home and my husband never comes home. But that doesn't justify what you've done to us. But Helen, you've also retaliated against us. Can't we just call it even? Please?
I've seen many types of people being in this industry, but she's not remorseful for anything at all. It's very obvious.
I'm truly sorry for what I've done. I really am. I can't possibly be charged with a crime. My husband has a family member who works for the police, so I can't take a criminal record. You shouldn't have done what you've done in that case.
I don't mean to further add to what you already have to pay, but your husband is also charging you for the car repair as well.
What? Why? Why would he charge me? You were the driver, and that's only why he's charging you. Can't he just use his insurance?
There's a high probability that you will be charged with theft for driving that vehicle, so your husband isn't liable for the damages on the vehicle. This means that the insurance won't cover this damage.
Well, that's ridiculous. What's the point of being enrolled in insurance if they won't pay for the darn damage? Mindy, you did this to yourself. What? You drove your husband's car without his consent and you trespassed on our property. You broke our sandcastle on multiple occasions just to step all over our feelings. Money isn't going to solve this problem. Hold on, please. Helen, I'm willing to apologize. Can't you just let this go this one time? I'd be willing to pay you whatever you ask. You need to realize that some problems can't be solved with money. I'm not ever going to forgive you for what you've done. I hope you learned your lesson to never do anything like this again. Why did I ever do that if this was going to happen to me? Mindy was fortunate enough that she wasn't sentenced to imprisonment, but she was charged with a $5,000 penalty for the property damage and for trespassing. Her husband broke up with her and she also had to pay $1,000 for the damages she caused to his car. Since she didn't have any savings, she currently lives in a cheap apartment while she works a part-time job to clean up the sand at our park in our neighborhood in addition to her remote job so she could pay off her debt. As for us, we've been living peacefully ever since Mindy moved out of the neighborhood. It's so nice to build a sandcastle under the sun. Trouble busters!